Hey everybody, welcome to yet another PlayStation Tournaments Fight Nights for Brawlhalla. Once again, I am here joining my co-caster. I'm Skiff, that's Polymonto. Poly, how are we doing today?
I'm super excited. As always, we're about to see some really good Brawlhalla, and I couldn't be in any better company, Skiff. I'm super excited.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, we got a nice little bunch of talent here as well. We got 8 fantastic players we're going to be going through today. Best of 3 all the way up until finals, where it's going to be best of 5. But again, if you're here last month, you know exactly what we're going to be doing here. So while I'm waiting for the sun to go down, Polly's going to be waiting for the sun to go up. And you'll actually see it in his background there. He's got his little window. It's nice and dark. Like, what, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. right now?
3 a.m. right now. But, you know, hey, it's deeper into summer now, so it'll take a bit longer until the sun comes up.
That's true. But either way, yeah, we got a lot of fantastic stuff coming up here. First of all, let's go ahead and actually take a look at the format for this event here. Or wait, there we go. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
so there we go. The format. We kind of touched on this briefly already. Open qualifiers into the top 8. It's going to be double elimination, best of 3, and then the top 3, best of 5, as we just kind of briefly touched on that not too long ago. And the prize pool, Polly, what do we got?
I think we got some really serious stuff this time around, Skiff. We've got $200 for the number 1 contender, $150 for the runner-up, $100 for the third, and $50 for the 4th. So we got pricing in all of top 4 today. This is serious business, Skiff.
100%. I mean, and then, you know, once you try to get to those, the 4th place and up, everything becomes, well, actually before you get to, so like the people who would place 5th, they're basically money matching at that point. So, yeah, and everything is kind of becomes $50 more the more you win. So definitely going to be a pretty solid time. Let's take a look at the bracket real quick.
And we have today some contenders for that prize money. We're going to have New Zomber, Emily, Zookilla, God is King, Wield Heart, Clay Bondi, Appraise, and Mr. Ball. I think we saw Appraise actually in the last tournament, Skiff. They were quite a strong player.
Appraise, New Zomber, and God is King, I believe, are all here. So definitely some returning talent, some pretty solid talent as well. I'm really excited to see how these guys are going to play it out. You know, what kind of aggression or defensive tactics they'll bring. But before we even get there, we do have to give a quick shout out to a few things. First of all, if you're watching right now, the YouTube, check it out, youtube.com/PlayStation Esports for all the VODs here. Not even just this, but also like Street Fighter. I believe we had Strive on not too long ago as well. If you've missed any sets either from then or today, you're just tuning in a little bit later, you can always catch those on the YouTube PlayStation Esports. So make sure to check that out.
I think there's also some other exciting stuff on there, like some you know, guides, some stuff, just video games in general. If you like esports, that's the place you want to be. And if you want to get involved with the next tournament, you saw that prize pool as well as I did. Compete.playstation.com. Get in the game. This is not only for Brawlhalla, but it's for other titles as well. You really want to get into this. Fight Nights is where it's at, baby.
Yep. And also the Discord. If you want to be able to talk with a lot of other gamers that are into the same stuff as you, this is the place to be. You can use the QR code scanner. It's a nice little function on the Discord app if you already, have your phone out. But right there, I mean, you can join PlayStation Tournaments Community Discord to find regular updates on esports events, articles, video games, and meet with others to improve your game. So again, like I mentioned, if you're also into other games besides just Brawlhalla, that's the place to be if you want to check out how to get involved.
Sounds like a good deal to me. Having a community to get better with, no matter what title you're into. That's definitely where I would be looking if I'm an upcoming player.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the only way you get better at video games, by playing against others, especially people who are better than you. If you're losing, but like you're playing against good people, you're probably going to learn a thing or two. You're going to bring
on Discord, especially. Yeah. Because you
can
play someone that's better than you in ranked, but hey, the guy on Discord is going to be 100 times more valuable. Trust me, bro.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because then you end up, you take that talent, or whatever you just learned, you apply it to someone who's probably more on your skill level. All of a sudden, you're playing a little bit better than them. So it's always nice to have a community to go to where you can definitely like showcase what you know and learn a thing or two in the process. All right, but we're going to be getting into our first match here. Let's go ahead and check that out. I believe we're starting top to the bottom in the bracket. Looks like we are. We got New Zomber coming out here from Mexico. Definitely going to be interesting. If I remember correctly, they did win the last one. I'd have to double check.
Now, as a European caster, I really love looking at the nationality of different players. And I believe I mentioned this last time around, but there's not a lot of Mexican players in the NA scene. I love to see the Mexican representation. And, you know, this is where it starts. The Mexican representation starts in the community tournaments, and then it climbs its way up to the upper echelon, the top tier gameplay. That's what we love to see, Skiff.
100%. And their competition is going to be Emily here, who's coming from Baja California. So another representative of Mexico. So going to be interesting to see how these two play. I can't remember who New Zomber played last time, but I remember them being very dominant.
Neither can I, but like New Zomber, I don't know what it is. That name just gives me Boa feeling. It gives me Boa vibes. I don't know what it is. Like you queue someone in ranked, you see someone's tag in Discord, you're like, you feel like this kind of player. You know what I mean?
I think.
I don't know. Emily is gonna be on Emily's gonna be on Qatars or something. Calling it right now. New Zomber, Bo, Emily, Qatars.
We'll definitely see. If you land that, I don't know. I'll give you like a handshake next time I see you. Otherwise, I'll just ignore you. Yeah, we're going to be getting into this in just a moment.
If I'm wrong, you know, we are ceasing all contact with each other after this, Kif. It's all right. I got you.
After the event's done, we have a job to do first.
Yeah, true. So yeah, as mentioned before, it's going to be a best out of 3 format. So you need to win 2 games to advance. This is winners quarters. So this is a pretty important game, I'd say.
I believe it's all winner's side, if I'm not mistaken. So, again, the loser here will go down into the lower bracket. Well, they'll be awaiting the loser of the next game. And then those two will battle it out. And again, if whoever loses there, their bracket run's going to end for the day. But the winner gets another chance to potentially move on to that prize pool. But here we go, getting started here on small Brawlhaven. And I don't see... Actually, there are Qatars. There are Qatars there. But
yeah, but they're on the wrong player, and there's no bow to be seen. So I guess we're gonna cease contact after this gift. We're on small Brawlhaven though. We got Teros and Lucian here. Let's see what these players are able to do.
I mean, Lucian's definitely been a character that's been seeing a lot more play lately. I mean, there's definitely been some buffs to those weapons, especially the blasters. So we'll definitely see exactly what New Zomber is going to be bringing here. I feel like I'm remembering the Lucian from last time as well. But again, Taurus is a different character altogether, man. This guy just hits hard. And I mean, that's just kind of what he's all about. The axe, especially with the hammer, too.
And Teros is in a really funny spot right now where Teros was like, you know, he was like a problem, morally speaking. Like, no one wanted to be on Teros whatsoever or associated with him. But he's kind of having a resurgence now. You know, like, we have let the Teros mains alone for far too long, and they're starting to show up again.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, whenever you got a character that hits hard, they're always going to be around in some capacity. How strong, I don't know, but we can definitely see right here, New Zomber taking that first stock. And what, like a minute and a half going by? A minute and a quarter half?
Yeah, minute and a quarter half. New Zomber still has this first stock rocking for him, though. Starting to get quite damaged, though. On the axe. They just have to find a knockout here. Probably looking for a signature end light, something like that. Side light in there, not going to be helping you that much, which is a big problem for axe mains because you have that muscle memory of going for the side lights in neutral, but that's not going to give you any kind of knockout right now.
We got some great gravity cancels there, just using a great poking tool, those blasters, but we got Emily finally cleaning up that stock, getting put into the orange in the process. So definitely, you know, not the best scenario here with New Zomber being able to get some pretty solid extra credit. Both of them just swinging right now for the fences.
Ooh, Emily able to get into a really good advantageous position here, but they go for the commitment on the D-Sig, and New Zomber is able to turn around. That was a key moment in this game, I feel. Emily had a super good stance there in terms of position, but New Zomber, you know, catch one mistake from Emily, he takes it right back.
Definitely a solid play there as well, and honestly keeping that pressure up too. Emily's kind of in a tough spot. Like, yes, you are playing Teros. I mean, it just takes a couple hits to put your opponent in a really tough spot, and you can find a way to clean up some stocks. But the way things are playing out right now, I feel like the speed that New Zomber has at their disposal is just really outclassing the hard-hitting Teros.
And it is so frustrating when you're playing as a Teros because you have these heavy-hitting weapons, you need to hit the punishes. And I mean, Blasters is all about the baits. Like, New Zomber is baiting Emily left and right, and it is apparently working as he is coming out of this game with 2 stocks left of his name, taking the first game.
Yep, and you can see that a lot too. We saw a lot of the little short hops back and forth in between stocks, but they actually were utilizing that in there too. Throwing out some feints, just trying to see if Emily will bite on something, because that's kind of the one problem that Taros players, I feel like, do have. You know, it's kind of like what you mentioned. I need to swing. I want to swing. I want to hurt somebody. So they kind of sometimes, especially when they're a bit frustrated, maybe they're not quite getting those plays that they wanted before, they might be a little bit more willing to press those buttons. And I think that's exactly what New Zomber was looking for, as they finally found a way to clean up that last stock. But here we go into our next map here to see if New Zomber can keep this momentum going.
I would expect potentially Emily to swap to a legend that is a bit more up close and personal when you're against a weapon like blasters, but it looks like they're confident in this Taros pick. New Zomber so far giving Emily quite a rough time on these blasters though.
Right. There we go, getting a little bit extra damage. Just dancing back and forth here.
Oh, and what a beautiful read. Emily in a really tough spot here. Very far down in terms of damage, and Uzomber is going to clean it up with that D-Light dash jump recovery combo. Swapping over to the Katars.
Yeah, that all started because Emily kind of got that first opening, I believe, and then as soon as Zomber kind of fell out of the combo, they just waited their timeout and they just picked up a big combo for themselves, just pushing Emily off stage. Every time they would recover, you just saw that big combo once again as we found a way to clean up that stock. And really, you're only barely getting into the orange here. You're like a nice mac and cheese color right now.
Yeah, they have a long way to go here. Emily needs some hard-hitting combos. And one thing I'm really noticing in Emily's gameplay is that when it comes to the hammer, the grounded gameplay is lacking. The main thing that differentiates a good hammer player from an amazing hammer player is the grounded gameplay, and that is where New Zomber just has an edge. He is patrolling this ground with these Katars, with these blasters, and Emily is just struggling to find a hit here.
Yep, and look at the speed. I mean, dancing all over the place. The pressure they're putting onto Emily. Having to go for a high recovery. I don't know if that was the smartest decision. You start to lose some resources up there. They do find a way to get their feet safely on the ground. Getting some strong hits. Oh, but unfortunately, New Zomber, he tried to go for it all in the second stock. There we go.
Oh, and there it is, though. There's the big hit that Emily needed. And now they have the weapon advantage. Let's see how much they're going to be able to get out of it. Apparently not much. New Zomber says, hold up, I can play with any weapon, including unarmed. I'll take you down. I don't care.
But again, we're right back on these blasters, and New Zomber has been just making so much money off these, just poking and then trying to set some combos. It looks like he's definitely going for a bit of a read here. They got something they're trying to set up, and they're just barely missing out on it.
Just waiting for the one mistake that he hopes Emily will make, but so far, Emily is not letting New Zomber find it. He is going to find the D-Lights there, though, very close to the edge, and Emily is approaching a knockout, getting closer and closer. New Zomber just waiting for the right opportunity to strike here.
Here we go, just getting some good fisticuffs damage going on there. Zomber trying to find a way to close that out. Didn't get on that first hit, but the follow-up attempt certainly cleans up game two as we see New Zomber with a strong 2-0 set win here. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff.
And I feel like, honestly, hands down, this was just a showing of mechanical superiority. Like, Emily had a lot of stuff going for them, but New Zomber just kind of was able to run in there, disrespect their neutral, and start hitting some crazy attacks.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's kind of really what it came down to. It's just, there's definitely a big difference in neutral there, and really, I think it just comes down to New Zomber's just confidence in the way that they play. I mean, it's always good, like, your neutral always kind of ups a little bit when you're playing a fast character and you know exactly when to press your buttons, right? Now, bigger characters, or I guess harder hitting characters in this case, like Taros, they tend to control neutral more on a fear factor, right? But if you're not landing those hits that you need to kind of like really instill that fear, kind of like what you mentioned, you just sometimes there's that lack of respect for your own neutral, your own burst options, like a character like Lucian, who really just kind of ran over you at that point. But we're going to be getting into our next match here. So, hey, keep those butts in those seats because we got more Brawlhalla action coming up.
And we have Wheel Eat Heart coming out from Mexico City. Skiff, we're gonna have to make an agreement right now. How are we pronouncing this name?
Wheel Eat Heart. We can always just say Heart. I think
you're the American. You're supposed to know how to say these names, man.
Hey,
I have an excuse.
No, because there's a lot of tags I've seen in my time, and I read them. I said, it makes sense that it's this way. And they add like a random letter, like an X in there somewhere. I'm like, what do you mean that's how that's pronounced? All right, listen.
All right, heart.
It makes sense. I understand your thought process, but that's not always true. But what I'm seeing in front of me right now is wheelie to heart. So these guys are going to be doing some wheelies. I better see some wheelies right now.
I'm not quite sure what the Brawlhalla terminology would include a wheelie. Could you please explain what a wheelie in Brawlhalla is?
Let me think about that one. But before we get on that, let's actually see their opponent here. We've got Clay Bondi from Canada. We've had 3 players from Mexico, so the Mexico scene definitely showing out here. Absolutely love that. But we got Clay Bondi coming out here from Canada, going to be trying to solidify their place in the next round of bracket. But we'll definitely see how these two battle it out. A lot of young talent today, too.
A lot of young talent, indeed. We were talking about it earlier in the green room, how a lot of these really, really good players, they grow up with the game, get better over time, and it's when they reach the higher ages, that's when they become really, really deadly. So this could be a lot of players we could expect to see in the future, potentially.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. We'll definitely see how all that plays out here as we get into our next match. But again, I think you guys are tuning in. Hope you guys are having a fantastic night so far. What is it? It's a good old, well, Monday for Polly, but Sunday for the rest of us.
Yeah, it's a Monday. It's early Monday, or very, very, very late Monday, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. So, but either way, yeah, it should be a pretty solid matchup coming up here. I don't think I'm familiar with either of the players. I don't think either of them were competing in last week's. If they were, I apologize. Should have just made a better run. I would remember you were.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen either of these players yet. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what they've got, which is also, again, one of the fun things about these community tournaments. You get to see a lot of names you're not used to. You get to see a different style of Brawlhalla that you're not used to.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's one of the few things that I really like about watching, like casting pools at an event, right? Those are the players that you don't get to see as often, and sometimes they bring in new tricks, and they just have a different way of playing the game. It may not always be the most optimal, but sometimes it's more exciting.
They might not always be the most optimal, but I found those games are the games that have the most passion. Like, you see the games on the main stage of any tournament, and it's just like, you know, it's the standard gameplay that you're used to. You see that one game in pools where you've got 2 guys sitting next to each other. It might not even be super high stakes. It could be like getting into top 32 or something. But there's like 50 people behind both monitor screens watching it, going absolutely crazy. That's the kind of hype that you get to see in pools. And that's the kind of hype that you get to see in top 32 area of, you know, the really big tournaments. And that's the kind of hype that you get to see in top 8 of community tournaments. And that's what I'm all about.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's as simple as there's nothing more passionate than an O tour that keeps showing up. So, honestly, they support any scene as it is in general. Respect your local O tours. They're people too.
They're people too, and at one point you might want them to be your friend because they could become very deadly at the game very quickly.
Oh, yeah, that's the other side of it too. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's ever shown up to like their first tournament and like hasn't gone at least 0-2, at least at some point in their life. But who knows? I mean, things change all the time. But yeah.
Funny story about that. First time I ever played a Brawlhalla tournament, my first game ever, like for actual first round in any tournament ever was against Swada. I think you should remember who Swada is.
Yeah,
and I'm talking
good.
I was literally like gold or something, and he was at that time like top 8.
Yeah. All right, I think we're just waiting to see the players get into the arena here, so we apologize for the slight delay in action. But it's coming, I promise. We've got more action for you. Oh, okay, we're actually going to be going to a quick break. Apologies once again, but we've got more Brawlhalla action coming at you right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone. Sorry for that short break. So we actually have some technical difficulties on our hands with the game we were about to watch. So it looks like we are going to be looking at a different one. All is good, though. We still got a lot of amazing Brawlhalla game in front of us. The night is young, at least for Skiff, and I'm ready.
Yeah, it's like, it's only 8:23 around that. Let's go Central Time. Woo! Good old North Dakota. But we got our next player coming up here from Orlando. The night is starting to not become so young for them, as it's about 9:30 at where they're at. But still, we've got a praise from Orlando, Florida, going to be coming through. I'm pretty sure I've casted one of their matches on an official Brawlhalla stream, if I'm not mistaken. The tag looks very familiar.
Yeah, no, I believe they were actually playing in the latest Fight Night tournament, and I believe they did quite well. If they didn't, I could be completely wrong about this. I agree with you. I recognize this name, and I only really remember the names of the players that surprised me because of their skill.
Right. Well, I mean, there's also a lot of people who like to have different styles of gameplay and stuff like that too. So who knows? But either way, we have a praise, and we got their opponent as well here. We got Mr. Boy, whose name is Mateo. And what's really funny about their name being Mateo is, you know, Toast, right? Production behind Brawlhalla. Toast. He literally just DM'd me on Discord. I don't know what it says, but his name is also Mateo. What a weird, strange coincidence this all is. Brawlhalla is a simulation. But we got Mateo here, also hailing from Mexico. Again, 16 years old, the young talent coming through and showing up. I'm very excited to see how this match plays out.
Mr. Boy. What an anonymous name. Mr. Boy could be anything and anyone, and really, really like it. I feel like some good storylines are going to come from someone called Mr. Boy. Mr. Boy taking the game.
I feel like if I show up to an event and the person I'm playing round one, their name is Mr. Boy, I'm already, there's like a one dial up on the fear factor. I'm like, this person has a ridiculous tag. I'm probably gonna get destroyed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I like all of my alts have the craziest names for no reason, because you know that if you are in insanely high elo and you queue Kebab Man and 143, you're in for a bad time.
Yeah, like I said, because I've done that before too. And with some of my accounts in random games, they get a little too strong, and I just want to, like, I don't know, play at a lower ELO. Some people call that smurfing, I guess. I just start making up the most ridiculous names, but it's also kind of fun that way. But either way, here we go, getting started on Apocalypse here. Polly, what am I seeing in front of me right now?
We're seeing Mr. Boy on the Artemis, and we're seeing a praise on the Hattori. So we've got two picks that are very, very strong right now. We saw, of course, we talked about Bamya in the European Summer Championship playing Artemis, and also Hattori, you know, just in general. Sword, really good spot. Spear, really good spot. But Mr. Boy is really, really giving a praise a hard time right now. Mr. Boy, Jesus.
Yeah, well, part of that is, like, I think Hattori's just always been really good, right? Like, she just doesn't really have any bad sort of her gameplay. But that's because, like, Sword is always a solid pick, right? I don't feel like there's ever been a time where Sword's not a good weapon. It's at least been pretty solid. Oh, yeah. Spear doesn't usually end up with too much problems. Now, I know Rocket Lance can be a bit of an issue sometimes, but Artemis, like you did say, Artemis is in a very solid spot.
We talked about Terros, you know, used to be a problem morally. Right now, Lance could potentially be fit into that category as well, depending on who you ask. But praise...
I do like that you say morally it's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a problem gameplay-wise, but morally, yeah, definitely.
They are less people for playing Rocket Lance. But
I did not say that. You said that.
Hey, I'm just trying to interpret what I'm hearing. But Mr. Boy here with a crazy 2 stocks to get started. And man, Appraise is definitely struggling here. What do you think Appraise needs to do to find a way to turn this around?
I mean, Mr. Boy, the Rocket Lance, it takes up so much space. And you're just able to jump in there, throw out a massive attack, and you need to be on your feet, and you need to be expecting the next move of your opponent constantly. Appraise needs, I think, honestly, and this is like a go-to for a lot of people in Brawlhalla, you know, take a step back, observe what's going on, chill out a bit. Whenever the opponent is getting the better of you, just decrease your attacks per minute so you can get ahead of them.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Appraise is really trying hard to try and get a stock out of this. And we can see it too. Mr. Boy in that deep red right now. Honestly, you sneeze on him and he could very well lose this stock here. Appraise still trying to find a way to clean it up. You can definitely tell they're swinging a little bit wildly. They don't want to get 3-stocked here, but it definitely is seeping into a bit of a problem for their game plan because they're just not able to land the hit they need.
Mr. Boy is just so incredibly confident right now. I mean, their entire gameplay just screams confidence, and Appraise is not really that prepared for it.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I thought the weapon toss was going to be able to close that out. We see the gravity cancel down sig. Try to find a way to clean up, but Mr. Boy just refuses to go down here. And a 3-stock. Look how dark that red is. Basically barbecue sauce. Staying alive.
229 damage. That's a lot of damage in the same stock. Yeah, Mr. Boy does not only know how to wield his weapons, he knows how to cling onto those stocks as well, Skiff.
That is absolutely insane. I mean, being able to stay alive that long, that's a high number too. What's Artemis's defense again? It's not that high, is it?
I think it's like medium. I think it's like, I don't know, maybe, I mean, Artemis has 8 speed, so there can't be that much defense, right? If I had to guess, I'd say like 6, maybe 5.
So at least it's just some really good neutral being played for sure. Just staying very elusive. Got to hand it to Mr. Boy, looking like Mr. Man with the way that they handled that game 1. We'll see how game 2 comes out to play. And now we've got a switch from Appraise, though, going into the Vector.
So I did just Google it very, very quickly. Artemis has 4 defense, so that's not even that much defense. You're going to have a lot of variable knockback force on that.
We got that Vector coming out here. Vector actually getting like a pretty solid result for, I feel like, the first time in a long time. Not too long ago. Oh my goodness. This is that DreamHack Dallas from Hughes who ended up taking that one all the way through. But I mean, enough about Vector. We got to start talking about Mr. Boy some more. I'm sorry. They must have got a little bit jealous. Maybe they heard me or something. We aren't talking about them enough.
Yeah, just a bread and buttered Lannis combo to throw Appraise off to the right side and then finishing it off with the style, with that Artemis signature. I feel like Mr. Boy, one of his strong suits is he's really, really knows his way about the Artemis signatures, which is like one of the strong suits of Artemis.
Here we go. All right. A couple solid aerials, try to get these combos set up. Mr. Boy is definitely working very hard to get their setups here. And yeah, that's,
so
man,
precise.
Second burst, same as the
He's
first.
so precise. He does not miss these attacks. Like, he's throwing out so many attacks, but like they're connecting, and he's fighting the reads too. That's massive. He's committing onto Appraise. He has the pressure already. Appraise is stressing out. All he needs is to continue applying this pressure, and he might go down here.
It's definitely looking a little bit
He
rough here
though.
for Appraise.
He resets it.
We did see that Sig get landed, but again, Mr. Boy just going crazy here. They wanted to close that out. They wanted to close that out right there.
Yeah, and it begins. It's like, it's as if Mr. Boy functions on a switch, dude. I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, you have like, Appraise gets a moment to reset neutral. He chills out. He gets a couple of hits. Mr. Boy gets like one good opening, and it's just like his game. He's in the spotlight for the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically highlight reel the set here. Was that a double 3-stock as well? I think it was.
Yes,
a bit rough for Appraise, but like, you know, hey, sometimes you just gotta hold that. It's just a situation that happens. Sometimes you get stopped. But the best thing you can do is to try and learn as much as you can in those types of sets, because honestly, you can learn a lot by getting destroyed sometimes.
Yeah, Mr. Boy doing incredibly well so far. Just out of curiosity, I had to look them up on Brawlhalla to see what their elo is right now, and they are 2,240 elo this early onto the season, which is really, really crazy. All
right, so we got a pretty solid player there, and they're young too. I think we saw 14 or 16. Young player either way, but like you mentioned earlier too, gonna get better with time. You know, you're just gonna keep playing the game, and who knows, maybe we'll see them take over at some point. But that's just what happens, though, man. We already saw it like over in one of the other games I cast. The Mexican scene, like, they are just really good when it comes to fighting games in general, and they just get better all the time. Doesn't matter what game it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a better influx of players from Mexico as, you know, the game just continues to move on.
Yeah, so I did just look it up. Mr. Boy is region ranked, so this is the ranked ladder, Ryan. We could have an entire debate on how much the ranked ladder matters, but I think it's a pretty good indication when I say that Mr. Boy is region rank 199. Like, this is a good player. This is one of the higher echelon top tier players, at least in terms of rank. So Mr. Boy is starting to look pretty scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a tough one, and I think it's definitely something for new Zomber to pay attention to going on. And man, I really am hoping that we get those two colliding later on, because that'll be a fantastic set to really kind of put our eyes on. We might.
I think we might see that. Yeah.
But either way, let's take a quick look at the bracket if we can, just to kind of see where things are shaping up at the moment. Or not yet. Excuse me. We'll get the bracket up in just a little bit. Apologize for the miscue on that end. But, Polly, what do you got coming up in the next few months? Anything?
I don't really have that much stuff Brawlhalla related. Now, okay, I'll let you in on a little secret. So you know how Brawlhalla has clans, right? I'm very deep into the Brawlhalla community. My Brawlhalla clan has a thing where we make a pledge every single season. We say, like, I will do this season. And then if you don't do it, you're, haunted by ridicule from the other clan members. And I said I'm going to reach 2200 elo this season, which is 200 elo above what I've gotten before. So I'm ready to grind. And I've already done a little bit of grinding in the ranked ladder this season. I'm excited for some Brawlhalla.
Where are you at, though?
I'm at 2,000 elo, which is like top 1,000 in Europe right now. But it's so early. You can't say much about that.
Oh yeah, no. If the season just started, of course, there's still plenty of room to grow. I think when it comes to Brawlhalla, I think we should have BCX coming up soon. I think
November. Yeah,
it is November. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I believe that's going to be here a lot sooner than we think, too. Last BCX was fantastic. If you guys are actually watching right now, if you have not been to a BCX, you're missing out. It's a fantastic event to go to. Lots of friendly faces. Recommend it. Oh, yeah. And
BCX.live is if you are interested. If you're around the Atlanta, Georgia region, definitely something you want to check out.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be at the same venue, too. It's a nice spot. There's lots of good food places around. There's actually a mall across the street. It's like they've got a giant arcade/food place there. A lot of fun to go to.
It was my first time in America going to BCX. And Atlanta, that is definitely something else, Gif. I'll tell you right now.
It's a good city, though. There's a lot of good stuff to do there. Definitely a fun time. What's up?
Yeah. I had a really, really good time there. The main thing I noticed is that it's like super non-pedestrian friendly.
Yeah, it can be, but there's a couple bridges. But we do have the bracket here. What I promised about 2 minutes ago before I foolishly asked for bracket too early, like a silly caster that I am. But we got new Zomber going to be taking on Zookilla. It's quite the tag. And then We Lead Heart is going to be taking on Mr. Boy. So we'll definitely see how this plays out. I mean, right now we're on a collision course for new Zomber to take on Mr. Boy. We'll have to see what Zookilla and We Lead Heart kind of bring to the table. As we look at the other side, of the bracket, we got Emily and Appraise already moving on into that next round. So fantastic stuff here.
Let's see if Zookilla and the We Lead Heart are going to be the script breakers tonight.
I mean, could very well be the case here. That's one thing I've always known about Brawlhalla. Like you brought it up earlier too. Before we actually went live, who's that player again that showed up out of nowhere?
Oh yeah, Bamya. Bamya in Europe. I don't know if you guys saw on the official summer championship, Bamya, a player. I think he was literally PR 869. He got 9th, and he took Akino to game 5.
So yeah, sometimes you really don't know who you're playing against sometimes. Like, they just might know enough to beat you. So you definitely got to be on top of your game here. But as we get into Zookilla versus new Zomber, I imagine we're going to be seeing that Lucian once again. But Zookilla, I don't think I know about who they play.
So new Zomber, I think we saw them on the... Okay, that is not what we saw them on. I don't remember what we saw them on. I predicted new Zomber was going to be a bow player, and it looks like this time around, they are going to be on that bow.
We'll definitely see how that plays out. But we got the spear on the other side here for new Zomber. I believe that is... I forgot the character's name. It's on the tip of my tongue, too.
Orion.
Orion, that's it. Yes,
it's all right.
Rocket Lance, yeah, Rocket Lance will also be coming around. So looks like the Rocket Lance is the consistent factor here. Oh wait, no, they played Lucian. Duh, I'm thinking of the last player we had, Mr. Boy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Rocket Lance, also using the Macho Man land skin, which I absolutely love.
Fantastic skin.
But yeah, the spear and the lance, as you mentioned, very, very represented today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. What? That's 2 for 2? Yeah, pretty much. But either way, right now we got the blasters in hand too, trying to play the keep away game. Put on some decent damage here, but new Zomber already off to a hot start, taking that stock a little bit early. And, oh, goodness!
Taking it back though, with a great desig on those blasters. Zookiller still in the game here on those blasters as well. New Zomber trying to get a weapon here. Managed to pick up the lance. Has a really advantageous position here, but it looks like he is going to be refraining from making any kind of commitments here. I mean, he has so much of a damage lead, he doesn't really need to make any large commitments.
Right.
Oh, but that's just an opportunity you can't pass up on, and he's going to be able to find the knockout as well.
That's super unfortunate too. I mean, I know that it can happen with these types of maps, right? The walls there, they're not as large. You think you touch them, but you don't. So maybe that was the situation we saw. But either way, that's a huge stock to give up for New Zomber. That's a huge lead to have.
Able to find the sideline, no follow-up, and again, Zookiller in a pretty rough situation here. Able to get back up though. That's one thing you have to give him. He's pretty good at getting back from those, you know, deep offstage situations. He just puts himself there way too often.
And tried to get an extra recovery hit there, seeing if Zookiller was going to drop a little bit faster than they expected. I like that slide off, but not going to be able to get the hit that they're looking for. Puts him right back on the stage. Doing a fantastic job with this bow. And that's another stock gone from the downsig. Once again, beautifully played from Zookiller.
Very well played indeed. New Zomber now looking to clean up this stock. He has the lance in hand. One Acer is all he needs to set up a really, really good spot for him to find this knockout. Zookiller, again, able to get back onto the stage, though.
Yep, there we go. Putting some damage up there, getting those juggles into play. Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah, the desig. It's such a call-out. Any option on a spear, it's usually signatures that hit stacked are instantly S tier, because spear has like no other stacked options, and the desig on Orion, it hits so hard, dude. Yeah, and that was quick too. He pretty much just landed, threw that out, got the right hit, closed out that game one. New Zomber going to continue moving forward here onto game two. However, Zookiller's not looking bad at all. Definitely controlling the game fairly well at some points. I mean, you still got a few things to clean up. We did see that one SD. You pretty much just gave it up to New Zomber for free. But if they did an SD, that could have been a much different game for us. Yeah, I mean, Brawlhalla, in my opinion, it comes down to three things. And it's being at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And Zookiller was doing the right thing. He was just at the wrong place at the wrong time most of the time. Like, he was finding himself off stage time and time again, with New Zomber just waiting by the edge, knocking him down time and time again. Zookiller needs to get a hold of stage control. Mm-hmm. We'll definitely see if they're able to do that. I mean, this is the best time, is to take a few minutes. Or not a few minutes, so you don't want to take too much time, but take a few seconds at least. A few breaths. Yeah, a few breaths, right? Don't waste my time, all right? But, you know, readjust your game plan going into it, right? Remember what your opponent was doing, what they done, what combos are going for, what openings they want, how are they playing defensively, and kind of try to make those adjustments as best as possible. And hey, if you need to switch a character to make your game plans come to fruition, you can definitely do that, as we got the big switch right here with the Barraza. And I actually really, really love this pick, because Zookiller said, all right, I'm off stage a lot of the time. How about instead of trying to take stage control, I will pick Barraza, where I have Axe and Sig, and whenever I'm off stage, you have to be super afraid of me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then having those blasters as well. I mean, so the blasters seem to be the common link between game one and game two, but now having that Axe and the high defense too, that's probably a huge thing for them as well. Yeah, that's a trend going through this right now for Zookiller. But New Zomber able to clean out that first stock of Zookiller real quick with a Lance neutral signature. Now trying to guard that weapon, but Zookiller is able to get a hold of the blasters, and we are seeing some really good damage here. Mm-hmm. Cody Travis is the Barraza, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so if there's and it's always good when you have a top player representation for a character that you play, because you can just watch what they do and emulate a lot of the good things that they have going for them as well. So hopefully Zookiller's been watching some tape, because right now
Orion
I
has
wouldn't
that
be surprised
too.
if they did, because they look good.
I mean, the difference between like Cody Travis and all of the other Barraza mains isn't as large, but you know, Orion mains, they have Stingray to look at as well.
That's right. Yeah, Stingray is a very big proponent of this. So I mean, hey, these characters get picked up for good reasons, and usually when a good player is playing a character, you always see somebody who tries to follow that as well, because there's good things happening here. But my goodness, what a lot of battling we got off stage here.
Zomba setting up an amazing opportunity there, but wasn't able to close it out with the true combo, and then Zookiller just taking it right back. And these players love their offstage fight, Skiff. They can't get enough of them.
Here we go. Oh, apparently, fortunately, going for the wrong play there, and Zookiller gonna go down to their final stock of game 2. However, does have a lead. They're looking much better. New Zomber's got to turn this up a little bit higher.
Now, I'm afraid. Whenever I see this Lance, I'm afraid, because all it takes is if Zookiller just gets a little bit too desperate for this knockout, New Zomber's gonna be able to capitalize off of that with some heavy hits. And look at that, Zookiller almost with no options. New Zomber is hunting him down, but he managed to get back up again. That's the thing we mentioned. Zookiller is so good at getting out of those sticky situations, but he's gonna take an N-sig to the face and a D-sig. This is not looking too bright for him, Skiff.
Both of those situations he lived were due to the high weight, but that last hit finally closing it out with a 2-0, and that was a tough battle as well. I would not want to be either player in that situation, because I have crumbled once before, twice before, many times before, but we do see New Zomber clutch it up a little bit, but I gotta hand it to Zookiller. They fought valiantly, especially during that last stock scenario off stage. Like, there's a lot of players that would not have been able to recover the way Zookiller did. I really got to hand it to him. Their defensive gameplay was top notch. I think they should stick with the Barraza moving forward, because that looked a lot better.
Yeah, the Barraza looked a lot better. As you mentioned, super good at making it back up onto stage. Their defensive ability, really, really good. Their offensive ability, that's where you know New Zomber was able to get ahead of him.
Yep. So either way, definitely some very good stuff. I hope that we can see a rematch potentially between these two players, because again, even though Zookiller lost here, they are not out of the bracket. They're just on the lower bracket as it is they're going to be battling their way to potentially get back to grand finals and potentially maybe fight New Zomber again. We'll definitely see how the bracket is shaping up here. Oh wait, excuse me, we're going into our next match. It's going to be Mr. Boy versus Wheelie Heart. Now, Mr. Boy, who we just saw not too long ago, this kid knows how to play.
Dude, I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know if I'm excited or afraid, because we lead hard. I mean, you're up for one heck of a game. Mr. Boy is looking incredibly solid. 3 stocking, 2-0 just one game ago. Moving into this one, he's probably feeling confident.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how this one will play out for us in just a moment. But man, we didn't get to see Wheelie Heart play earlier, but you know, it is what it is. We're going to see them now. But Mr. Boy, yeah, they have definitely showcased that they are very good, coming off a double 2-stock, a 6-stock, if you will, in their last set, and really just going absolutely insane with that Artemis.
Yeah, I'm expecting to be seeing that Artemis come out. At the very least, I'm expecting to see that Lance come out. But I mean, their work with the Artemis signatures really just show them how dedicated they are to this pick.
There we go. We got Lucian on one end and Artemis on the other. Obviously, the Artemis is Mr. Boy. Wheelie Heart. Gonna try and showcase maybe what New Zomber was doing earlier in that first round, but I mean, you gotta deal with Artemis first. So, oh my good, that's such an aggressive option.
That is so aggressive.
Went off stage, and Wheelie Heart said, "This is exactly where I want you," and immediately dove.
And that's like something that 9 times out of 10 is a really, really bad option, but he did it like the one time where it's a super good option. Mr. Boy just escaping by the skin of his teeth. Now we're back onto on stage. Mr. Boy has the damage advantage, but he's on that Scythe, and Scythe players love to tell you about how difficult it is to find a knockout in this situation.
Oh yeah, because you can't just grab them and continue to throw them off stage, huh? But either way, Wheelie Heart with one aggressive option that didn't work out, but still kept the pedal to the metal, is now sitting here with a nice stock lead. Looking in the red, though, they could be losing the stock very soon if they aren't careful. Mr. Boy now with that rocket lance in hand, and we know how deadly they are once they have this equipped.
Really Hard still has the advantage, though. He can afford to play this quite safe. Looking for any kind of damage to substantiate his lead here. Able to get that Sarah to knock Mr. Boy away. Super good. And he's in the advantage position as well. He lost it, which is unfortunate. But still, he didn't take any extra damage. His movement is looking crispy right now, Skiff.
I mean, you're going to have to turn up that heat just a little bit more. I mean, I know crispy's pretty nice, but sometimes you want a little bit of burn on it. I feel like that's what they need right now to try and turn this around. They are behind by a little bit, but it's not by much. We do have that rocket lance in here, packing on some pretty solid damage. I like that. Throw the weapons, throw the scythe, and then combo off it with the rocket lance as you catch that one again. Oh my goodness. Ooh, they are going out there.
And that's the thing with Mr. Boy. He's not afraid to go all the way out there with this lance, which is something that so many lance players will not do. And it is throwing all of these players off it. That's a position where lance is super, super strong as well.
Dude, it's like Mr. Boy took note of how aggressive Wheelied was earlier and just said, I'll show you how to really get it done here. And just went absolutely wild off stage. So Wheelied's going to have to be very mindful of the recovery resources moving on in this game. Because Mr. Boy is certainly down to throw down.
I'll be doing the same thing as you, but I'll do it better. I'll do it on lance, and I'll do it all the way out there off stage. And he has got that entire stock lead because of it. Wheelied Hard now looking for this knockout, able to find it. Sorry, no, that's not going to be it. That was so close. This one is going to be it.
There we go, finally cleaning that one up. And now things get a little bit dicey here because Wheelied's been doing a pretty solid job. Unfortunately, gets comboed away and not able to keep that weapon start going. Mr. Boy now has that rocket lance in hand, but it might not matter too much. That's a lot of damage.
It's building up slowly but surely. Wheelied Hard is really putting himself on the scoreboard here, getting Mr. Boy all the way down to orange. As he's throwing out these signatures, he's just able to find more and more punishes. He can't land, that's one of the main things, but he's able to get that end sig. And that's the thing, all it took is one single mistake, and he just robbed him of that win.
Yeah, honestly, fantastic game one so far from both players, honestly. I know the Eld, doesn't normally translate to both players playing good, but I mean, someone's got to lose. But again, both players are playing fantastic. Great counterplay from start to finish. Wheelied Hard definitely came out literally blasters blazing, let's be honest here, right?
Yeah.
But Mr. Boy was definitely able to recoup, make some solid adjustments to be able to turn that around to take that game one. But you cannot rest easy here. You got to make sure you keep that going.
I mean, one thing we really should be looking at is that last stock, because if the game continues in that fashion, I mean, this is a completely different game where Wheelied Hard is going to be very dominant. And so far, they are looking solid on these blasters, Skiff.
That was some nice damage right there, too. And Mr. Boy definitely found a way out, got a little bit of damage going, but wasn't really able to extend that combo. Tried to go for a read or two. Oh, my goodness, Mr. Boy settled down right into the rocket lance. That was slick. That was really clean.
Yeah, with the weapon throw as well, super clean. Now onto the lance, looking to build up that damage and eventually get a knockout. What am I even saying? He doesn't need damage build-up. He'll just hit you with a quick three-piece, finish it up with a signature, and that's a pretty clean knockout if you ask me.
Oh my goodness, that weapon toss and then getting back to the rocket lance and then comboing off the alley-oop as well. And that's the third time we've seen today that one signature off stage deleting a stock. So beautiful stuff for Mr. Boy. Has that scythe back in hand. Are they going to keep the combo going? They ended up picking up the weapon, got some blasters in hand. Can they find a way to turn this around? They've taken a lot of damage here already.
From what we know, this is the position where Wheelied Hard thrives, though. We were seeing them in the exact same situation. He's able to clean out that stock. Probably, if I had to guess, going to be sticking to the blasters? No, it's going to be the Katars.
Yeah, I mean, the Katars, probably the better option right here, to be honest. Just because of how fast they are, how easy it is for Lucian to get in, right? And
he could be priming for his next stock here, right? When he wants to respawn, he wants to have those blasters on a fresh stock because he knows he's going to lose this pretty soon, most likely.
All right, we'll definitely see how things play out here. Mr. Boy taking yet another stock, doing a pretty solid job with these rocket lances.
And this is it right here. Fresh stock, he's going to be picking up those blasters. Never mind, I am... Skip. I wasn't keeping track. I wasn't keeping
to the
track.
best of us.
Wheeling
okay,
hard.
I always forget. I just wait till they pick up the weapon and then I talk about it.
Yeah, wheeling hard. I mean, he's feeling the guitars apparently. I'm way off about that. But Mr. Boy is feeling the Lannis even more. And it is going to be another 2-0 with only 193 damage applied. This guy's out of control.
Yeah, man, Mr. Boy definitely showcasing why they are among the best of the best in this bracket right now. And again, they're going to be taking on new Zomber, so we got quite the winners finals coming up. That's going to be a best of 5, and let me tell you, that's going to be absolute fireworks. But as we see the losers from our past 2 matches go down into the lower bracket to take on the losers from earlier, and this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Now, Zookilla against Appraise. Appraise played pretty solid earlier against Mr. Boy. Well, they played solid enough, I feel like, as you can against Mr. Boy. But Zookilla, I feel confident in saying they could take that.
Yeah, Zookilla versus Appraise is one of the matches that I'm very excited to see here because I feel like they're both very, very good players. They just kind of got robbed by, like, the 2 best players in the bracket right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Someone's got to play them. Unfortunately, it had to be them. But we'll definitely see how those players try to rise to the occasion. But hey, since you're still here, we do want to give another quick shout out to PlayStation right now. If you're tuning in, if you're watching, you're trying to figure out what this is all about. I mean, first of all, you clicked on the PlayStation Twitch channel, so obviously you know where you are.
I mean, you know what a PlayStation is. You probably got one at home. You know someone with a PlayStation. I mean, I would want to get all in this. You want to know about the tournament? Compete.playstation.com. You want to see more of the tournaments? We got the YouTube page right there, baby. You want to join a Discord community with like-minded gamers like yourself? It's time to compete. It's time to get into the community. Get into it, folks.
Absolutely. But also the Discord, too. Do you want to show the Discord information again?
I want to see it. I didn't join the Discord yet. I want to scan that QR code real quickly. You know, we've been talking about my ranked ladder. I'm trying to get better at the game. This could be the place for me.
Yeah, it could be, and you can actually use your phone to scan the QR code right there, or use that link, and you can join the PlayStation Tournaments Discord for all of your gaming needs, for competitive gaming as well. So we got plenty of people to kind of keep in touch with, also with events, articles, all sorts of stuff. But we are going to be tossing this to a quick break. So don't go anywhere because, man, we got Winners Finals coming up, and you're not going to want to miss that.
Yeah, I know it's going to be massive. So don't move, don't go anywhere, grab some popcorn, get some water, and we'll see you in just a couple of minutes.
Gaming is defined by moments.
It is intense.
The joy of victory and the thrill of overcoming challenges. Welcome to our home of competitive gaming, where we can all experience exciting esports moments.
The final 1v1 of the game here.
And celebrate the pros and the rising stars.
I do want to see a female in the MCS.
Bringing you guides and deep dives.
Horizon can go up, but she can't go up fast.
And tournaments where the community competes.
Wait! Did he get? No way!
Whether you're in a heated match,
Back, let's go!
or watching along at the edge of your seat.
A duo taking down a trio!
Let's create moments from the games you love.
Come take it!
Join us and subscribe to our channel to follow everything esports on PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Get ready for the excitement, drama, and glory of the Ultimate Fighting Game Tournament.
Oh my god.
On August 4th, EVO returns to Las Vegas.
Come take it! He's your Bounty Blood 2022 champion!
Witness the world's best players confront new trials and reignite old rivalries on the grandest stage of all. Featuring reigning champions and hungry challengers battling in a relentless pursuit of victory.
To become the Evolution champion!
3 days, 8 games, thousands of fans worldwide. Immerse yourself in the vibrant world of fighting game culture, including interactive booths showcasing the next era of cutting-edge gaming. The battles will be fierce, the victories monumental.
All that practice paid off.
Be part of a global community watching every move, unless of course, you're the one making them. Are you ready? Experience the world's premier fighting game tournament and join us at EVO 2023 from August 4th to 6th. And keep an eye on the PlayStation Esports YouTube channel for all things EVO.
PlayStation.
Hey everybody, welcome back to PlayStation Tournaments Fight Nights for Brawlhalla. I am Skip, this is Polymonto, and if you've been watching so far, you've been watching some pretty good sets, but if you're just tuning in, you don't have to worry about that because I'm probably not ready for do this, but you can always check out youtube.com/PlayStation Esports. You check out all the VODs there, but you are in for some fantastic matches still. There we go, bottom third. I kind of improv that one. Got to hand it to production being on top of that. So beautifully played, beautifully played. Well done, production. Well done, well done. But yes, we do have our best matches, I believe, going to be coming up here in just a little bit. We've got a winners finals match that's going to be something else. We got New Zomber taking on Mr. Boy. And let me tell you, these two have been going absolutely wild. And now they get to take their chance at each other. Polly, what are you expecting to see out of this match?
The entire tournament, all of the sets have been 2-0 so far. And you see behind me, you see the sun is rising. That's how you know we're getting deep into this bracket. That's how you know we're getting some of the best games. And I'm all for it, Skiff. We're about to see some of these titans clashing, and it's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, you're literally stealing my sun. My sun is, I don't know. I could probably look out the window and see it real quick.
I'm taking it.
It's just still.
It's right. It's right. It's right here. So I mean, you don't have to worry about it. It's right.
I mean, when I turned my head too, I just want to point out the sun was not the bald spot in my head. I do want to point that out.
I'll give you back your sun in around 12 hours. Don't worry about it.
I'll take the sun back then too. But yeah, all right. As we get into this match, we got New Zomber taking on Mr. Boy, and like we said, this is going to be a crazy match. New Zomber has played 2 different characters so far. Has gone with Lucian into the Orion.
Ooh.
And now we're getting a Macho Man Randy Savage here, but Mr. Boy obviously going to be sticking with the Artemis.
Also, observe best out of 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. Now stakes are really getting higher. You're going to have a lot of more wiggle room to adapt and overcome your enemy here. And so far, we're in the Lance Ditto with both players going pretty much head-to-head.
I feel like Rocket Lance Ditto is almost a tale as old as time in Brawlhalla. I feel like this happens a lot.
Yeah, Ulgrim also very, very popular right now.
Yes. Also just a huge doubles character.
Oh? Yeah, I mean, Uzomber was able to get, you know, a lot more out of that situation than I think he was expecting. That could have been why he's kind of AFK for a moment. He's just looking at the screen trying to process what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of saw that earlier, too. I think with their opponent, I think it was a Praise. A Praise kind of just barely missed the wall at one point, too. So, hey, they've been getting kind of lucky with these non-existent wall touches, huh? But either way...
Psychological warfare.
Psychological warfare, you know? But one
all
thing
intentional.
to also keep in mind here is that the winner of this match is guaranteed at least $150. So that's a nice little prize
Huge.
pool. As we see new Zomber, that was a huge play. And man, Mr. Boy... we saw them absolutely dominating people, but running in the new Zomber, it seems like Zomber recognized, hey, this guy might be good. I need to turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, we've been talking really, really big time about Mr. Boy, saying he's absolutely crazy. New Zomber just coming in here asking, so how crazy are you, really?
Well, right now, it's they're not in the insane asylum like New Zomber is. I feel like this guy is clinically insane with the way that they play, the way that they confirm into their combos, but we do have some life coming out from Mr. Boy here. And again, when there's a will, there's a way. And it's also not over until it says game. But again, these Rocket Lance come out to play here. New Zomber in a good position, having the advantage on stage.
Full stock lead, but I know Mr. Boy to take these stocks very, very early on, so I wouldn't get too comfortable just yet. And you see it right there, combo started, and that's almost a knockout. Mr. Boy surprising us time and time again with his amazing combo work as we get into the higher percentages here.
Oh,
and
a
again.
second one! Wow!
It's such a call out, and Mr. Boy keeps going for it and it keeps working, so why shouldn't he?
I mean, if he keeps calling out like that, he's... I mean, this is not a deficit at all. It's just a matter of staying elusive. What a weapon toss there. Almost absolutely deleting that stock. But Mr. Boy, one last chance here, I feel like. Oh, no, this is one last chance. Once more, and that's going to be it.
Oh.
That's huge.
Yeah, that nair right there was so huge. Able to get him a free passageway, basically, back onto stage. He has the scythe in hand. He's finding a lot of openers. New Zomber is looking for the knockout option. He's able to get the end light. Weapon throw, that should be it. He gets the recovery, and that's enough.
Yeah, very good stuff. And going with the switch up, too, I was totally expecting another spike chance or attempt to come out and just did not land it at all. So, hey, fantastic stuff from New Zomber. But what a comeback from Mr. Boy. Granted, the comeback was not complete, but to even get one started in a situation like that against a player like this, yeah, there's some fire in this kid. This is going to be a hot set going forward.
I don't expect to see a legend swap here, though, for Mr. Boy. I think really what they need is like that mental reset. Both of these players, they've had absolute sweeps. Mr. Boy maybe was even expecting another one. Going into this, he needs to step up his game, rethink, and just take a deep breath and be like, all right, it's serious business now.
I mean, hey, that's just kind of what happens sometimes. Sometimes you lose a game and you kind of recoup. You kind of think about what happened, and then you just play it out again. Oh, that's second
Or you
verse,
lose your
same
stock
as
in the 15
first.
seconds. First 15 seconds, New Zomber able to get one of those, I wouldn't call it a cheap knockout, but definitely getting a knockout a lot earlier than all of us expected us to.
That was crazy. That's literally happened twice. It happened in game 1 and game 2.
And Mr. Boy, he knows that he needs to do huge things here to be able to survive, which he is doing. He's got New Zomber all the way down to red here, getting the knockout with basically only taking one hit. We're seeing back-to-back almost clean stocks.
I was about to say, I wonder if the nerves are just catching up to them being at this point in the bracket, but no, they answered back so strong. Now taking a lead in the process as well. Mr. Boy going insane. Oh my goodness.
Mr. Boy. Yeah, Mr. Boy got like 200 damage there with basically only taking 2 hits, which is absolutely crazy. Now, New Zomber kind of getting back into the flow of things, getting a couple of hits. He is going to keep that weapon advantage as well, and you see Mr. Boy, he wants a weapon in his hands right now. It's going to be the lance, just what he wanted.
Yeah, they're definitely starting to feel more confident here, and I feel like maybe that first stock was them feeling a little too confident as it was, and they had to reset and dial it back. And then, like, they're just waiting for that switch to go crazy again. Because right now, as we can see, stock lead here. And this could be huge going into the rest of the game. But New Zomber is not just going to lay down and take the L. You have to earn it from him.
Needs to find the knockout here. And on Axe, you're going to need some big mistakes so you can get one of those super good punishes with a signature or something. He gets the Sair mid-air, goes for the weapon throw, and Zomber is really good at finding knockouts like that, finishing it up with a ground pound just for safe measure, and that is going to be the stocks evened up. Zomba has the weapon advantage, which could even out Mr. Boy's weapon advantage here. Sorry, damage advantage. He's going to be able to get a lot out of having the weapon advantage, and he's keeping the starve going.
Yep, I mean, that's definitely a good play right now, but is he going to be able to get the weapon? He does, and he has a rocket lance in hand. Oh, that could have been the game, but barely missing out on it. That's going to be huge for Mr. Boy. They have another chance to potentially take this game here. Oh, jeez, I'm so scared, Polly. This is such a nerve-wracking game. Oh my God.
That's almost it. But Zomba is still in the game. He still has an opportunity to turn this into a 2-0. All he needs is this one weapon. And Mr. Boy not going for the starve. Is he going for the unarmed finisher? He's not. He gets the call out with the Enisig. And Zomba is just going to be staring right into it. And that is going to be it.
You know what? A part of me is always like, oh, when I feel like I say a game is going to be an absolutely fire set, that sometimes it just doesn't happen, but this is already living up to it. 2 games in. These guys are beating the absolute heck out of each other back and forth. I don't see a single bit of lane gameplay at all in front of me, and that's what I love.
That was also with Zomba having like a super good first stock, where he basically got a clean stock over Mr. Boy. So I mean, just imagine how that could have panned out if that never happened. If Mr. Boy continues delivering this quality of gameplay, this is going to be Zomba is gonna have a rough time.
Yeah.
But
Here we go.
He's showing up. He's definitely showing up right now.
They're both showing up. I mean, that's what it's all about. These guys definitely want to get into that money here. And again, like I mentioned earlier, if you just winning this game, you're guaranteed at least 150, right? That's 150 big ones, and that's definitely what both these players are going to be working hard for. That's with a chance of going for 200. So they're going to try and keep this up. Right now, Zomba is responding back after dropping that game 2. They are looking very strong here, but again, we've seen Mr. Boy almost make 2 comebacks. 1 for sure, but almost got 2 in a row. So definitely see if they can find a way to dig deep for another one here.
Almost full stock lead. Mr. Boy, we know him for being efficient on these knockouts, but Zomba is rarely allowing him to find them. He's going to be able to get that side signature in, which is going to even out the stocks here, but he's already taken a lot of damage.
Lots of rocket lance damage going on. Oh
my God, Mr. Boy! But Zomba, again, what an amazing response. He's like, all right, you brought this upon yourself. We're so far out. You have no ground anywhere close to you to save you. I'm just going to throw out this axe recovery.
But you know what? I do like the attempt from Mr. Boy, because like, even if you lose the stock, the fact that you put it into your opponent's head, hey, I'm willing to do this if you mess up. This is what potentially will lose you the game if you do not respond to my aggression. And Zomba, I mean, they were ready for that.
Oh my God, what a call out.
Yep. He said, you called me out, I got you right back. Oh my goodness.
There's so many call outs happening here. They're both so many steps ahead. Almost too many steps ahead for their own good, I feel like.
Yeah.
What is that GC sidelight? What is that? We need Costelix on this. What was that option? I have never seen anything just quite like it. I'm sorry, I'm flabbergasted. That GC sidelight, this is a... wow.
Costelix could probably learn a thing or two from both of these players. The way these guys are playing right now, yeah, it's absolutely insane.
That GC sidelight. And that is also just like... You need a certain level of... Man, you need a certain level of, like, being relaxed to find options like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's just because, like, Rocket Lance is already a bit of a slower weapon as it is, so when you make these call-outs, you have to be really sure about it, right? You can't just go ahead and keep pressing buttons, because there's big punishes that could come out of just pressing buttons with the Rocket Lance, so...
They're being so creative, right? Both of them. Zomba with the call-out axe recovery, and then the GC sidelight from Mr. Boy. So many call-outs in general. I love the kind of creative gameplay that they're bringing to the table. And I hate to say it, but you don't usually get to see that much creative gameplay when you have a lance and an axe on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's definitely facts here. So we're gonna see how...
I hate to say it, but as a player of axe and as a lover of lance gameplay, it's not that creative. Let's be honest.
No, these guys are being pretty creative.
They are. That's why I love it.
There's a lot of typical Rocket Lance stuff that I feel like we usually see everywhere, and they're definitely using a bit of that because that's because of your bread and butters. But the call-outs they're going for, I mean, these guys are really kind of pulling out all the breaks here. As we are on Apocalypse for Game 4, we'll see if Mr. Boy can find a way to take a game back.
And again, I keep thinking to myself, oh, this guy's in an advantageous position right now. He's probably going to get something pretty big out of that, right? He's such an amazing player. But they both are so good at reversing out of any given stance.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, nice
Okay,
weapon.
good
New Zomber loves using that. And Mr. Boy, again, just barely missing that wall. Going to be going down, and New Zomber with the weapon advantage. Axe in hand, going to be probably substantiating that lead a little bit.
And that's actually something that I think is very interesting too, is we've seen a lot of weapon tosses from Mr. Boy in past sets, and that have led to like some alley-oop scenarios where they're able to like keep the combo going off it, but I feel like we haven't seen it a whole lot in this set here. So I don't know if that's something that's kind of saving for the, you know, the back pocket when they really need it, but we do see them take out a stock here, and I think they took the lead with that little combo.
Yeah, it could also just be a topic of limit pushing, right? He wants to stick to kind of what to him is the basics, which to most players is not the basics. You're doing some really wild stuff, but you know, you want to stick to the basics, the kind of stuff you've done thousands of times that you know you're not going to be messing up. And
There we go.
What a
Tough
good
spot to
offstage
be in.
play. It's over.
Wow.
Oh no, it's not over. New Zomber, I thought surely had no options left, but he's able to surprise me.
Well, that's because I feel like Mr. Boy he really wanted to make sure that he could secure that, and I feel like he could have just waited a little bit longer. Granted, they got the stock here, but I really truly believe that Mr. Boy could have just waited a little bit longer to see how New Zomber was going to recover, because those resources were already low.
Yeah, the resources were so low. If he was just able to catch him by the wall, that would have been super big for him. But what is done, and Mr. Boy still has that advantage. I'll take that back, though, as New Zomber is able to get that stock down. He has the weapon advantage, a lance in hand, but Mr. Boy is blessed with a pretty good weapon spawn.
And we got the Rocket Lance Ditto coming through big time here. Definitely could make or break either of these players. It's definitely a huge spot there for Mr. Boy. Barely surviving there. Oh my goodness.
Great option, and he keeps it going as well, not allowing Mr. Boy to get an inch onto the stage. He uses that platform cleverly, though, to be able to get some elevation, to get back onto the screen. He has the scythe, but the axe there hits hard, and that is a 3-1 on the set. New Zombers in grands, baby.
Wow, what a set between these two. That was absolutely incredible. And the thing that's crazy at the end there too, right, is you could tell as soon as New Zomber got the axe, like I know this is basically the set of Rocket Lance, but as soon as that axe came in hand and you're that deep in the red and you're like above the stage, you're already so terrified because of how fast that Sarah comes out. It could just delete a stock from anywhere. So you know that's already in Mr. Boy's mind. You know, like if I land wrong anywhere, it's all over. And it really just kind of became that situation. It was all over as soon as they landed that Sarah. But what a beautiful set. I know it was only 4 games, but I'm kind of hoping that Mr. Boy gets back to Grand Finals. I'd love to see a repeat of this.
Yeah, same, dude. I mean, that really, in terms of Lance Dittos, that is really just a battle of the ages. So much contrast, so much drama. Both players reversing out of insane situations and going for super clippable combos, really. Really enjoyed it, and I also secretly might wish for a little bit of a rematch there, but not unless the players in the lower bracket have anything to say about it.
Hey man, listen, I've had my heart broken before, but we got Wheelied Heart and a praise coming through here. And listen, I'm gonna say I'm
seeing something bad. I'm seeing something bad. No matter what happens here, it's a rematch that Mr. Boy won a 2-0.
Oh, yeah. He actually did send both of these players to losers, so both of them want a rematch for sure. It is going to be basically nothing but rematches from here on out, assuming Mr. Boy wins. But Mr. Boy already having a win on both of them could be the same, because I feel like they weren't necessarily super dominant, but they were pretty strong wins.
Yeah, they were pretty strong wins. I mean, that's what we were talking about, right? Mr. Boy having such a dominant showing before, going up against New Zomber, it's like a very change of pace. You know, Mr. Boy, it was not looking good for the opponents whenever he fought them earlier.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit rough there, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, New Zomber, I believe, is on their way to a 2-peat. I don't know if we can get a confirmation on who won last time, but we are going back to a best of 3. Now, keep in mind, this is the lower bracket, so for these players, it's do or die. There is no more second chances after this. This is your second chance.
This is your second chance indeed, and they've been using it well so far. They're able to get pretty deep into the lower bracket here, but this is it right here. They're fighting for the opportunity not only to get deeper into the earnings, but for the opportunity to rematch Mr. Boy.
We'll definitely see how this plays out right now. A fresh matchup in our minds, starting on small Brawlhaven. We'll see how this plays out. We got Lucian coming from Wield Heart.
Orion from Appraise. The picks that we know and love from these players. Appraise so far doing a very good job at zoning out the Lucian here. And I feel like Spear is a pretty strong weapon to go against Blasters.
Yeah, I mean, Blasters do have a bit of a stretch. You know, they got a bit of a reach to them. But yeah, I think you're right. Spear just pokes so well.
It definitely is like super good against Katars. Like Wielded Heart, if he's on Spear, I try to stick to Blasters for as long as possible.
Right. Because that's kind of the whole point of the Katars, is getting in on the big slow weapons and really trying to take advantage of them. But Spear, it's a large weapon, but it's pretty quick. So we'll definitely see how Wield Heart.
It's pokey and it's zony. But looks like Wielded Heart does not care. He's going to be making one of those call-outs that we know and love him for. We saw it earlier as well, holding that ground pound. Fastest ground pound in the game, by the way. Holding it for several seconds, just getting all the way down there.
All right. Here we go. Both these players trying to take their chances. This is actually the time for Katars to kind of shine bright here. This is your situation, and you got a nice lead here too. So I mean, I understand that they're going to be taking their time, not trying to get super aggressive. You want to extend this stock as much as possible.
100%. And these Katars, they're looking good for building up this damage and furthering the lead over Appraise. Going for another one of those call-out ground pounds, but Appraise isn't going to be falling for it this time around. Now on the Spear, he needs to find a D-Lights there. He needs to find a side air, something like that. It looks like it's going to be the stacked D-Sig yet again that we saw earlier, Skiv.
And we actually saw that, the last stock earlier as well. So, but either way, both these players, okay, unfortunately for Wield Heart, wasn't able to find a way in to get that weapon spawn, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer here. But man, Appraise doing a great job with the weapon starve here, now has the Rocket Lance in hand. Wield Heart slipping out.
On the Lance now, he's able to build up a lot of damage against Wielded Heart, but he is looking for the knockout at this time. On the Katars, all that Appraise really needs to worry about is he does not want to fight himself off stage against Wielded Heart here.
There we go.
D-Sig coming out, and this is exactly what Wielded Heart wanted. He can go down there, he can throw out a ground pound, a Sair, anything, but he's going to be throwing out that D-Sig. Appraise finds the punish, and that is now the turntables turntabling.
Yeah, you got it, Polly.
I got it. I'm pretty good at English, if I do have to say so myself, Skiff. There's no comment needed. I know myself. No compliment needed.
Hey, you speak your second language a lot better than I speak any second language, so...
Appraise able to find that knockout with the Spear. He was struggling to find it, but he has actually been able to turn this game around. Or shall I say, Okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Either way, we do have Appraise now taking that strong lead here. However, Wield Heart answering back pretty quickly, trying to establish that victory and try to keep that lead just a little bit longer. They do got a little bit of work ahead of them, though.
Wielded Heart on these blasters, trying to poke out Appraise. And I feel like in terms of weapon compositions here between the players, this is probably the most balanced one. Wielded Heart able to find a lot of good openings here, but Appraise is responding to all of them.
Okay.
Very even, just back and forth here, finding exchanges, even trades. Fighting for just the littlest damage.
That was some of that big combo we saw from them earlier too. Just some nice call-outs with the blasters. Didn't get too much else out of it though. The start was great, but you gotta finish your plate.
Both of them want a KO so badly, they're just throwing out signatures left and right, and there's no punish to be found.
Oh, wow. Okay, barely clipping with the signature. Gonna be able to take out that first game. I feel like that barely touched him.
Barely touched them indeed. As I mentioned, at the end, there's so many signatures all around, but not really any kind of punishes coming out. I fear for them.
Oh man, I'm still trying to catch my breath from that winners finals match. That was Absolutely crazy. But Wield Heart, unfortunately for them, not going to be able to take this game one as Appraise was able to clutch it out in the very last few moments. As we get into this next match here on Apocalypse.
Wield Heart has a long way to go here. He needs to take down essentially 6 stocks to be able to win here. Oh, going for that massive D-Light all the way up there, but Appraise able to find it. Missing the D-Light's hair true combo though.
Ooh. Poke, poke.
Good poke coming in. Wield Heart able to respond with the Katars though. I'm seeing some good... I'm seeing some really good grounded play here from Appraise. Where he really struggles is whenever Wield Heart is getting in from the air. You see that Sarah coming in with the blasters from the air, and Appraise just can't respond quickly enough. Like, what are you going to do in that situation?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of strong neutral going on here. I feel like a ground pound could have been the play. Either way, though, closing up that stock. But yes, you're absolutely 100% correct. Appraise's neutral is super clean, and not just that, but the chance that they do get sent into a disadvantaged state, they're able to kind of even things up or reset very quickly.
I think that's what we were saying earlier, right? Appraise patrols the ground. Like, you're going to have a hard time landing against them. You're going to have a hard time landing whenever you're on the ground, which is also why, if you take a look, Wield Heart, whenever he's on these Katars, he's opening a lot of neutral engagements with this dare. There it is again, going for 2 dares in a row. He's able to find it now on the blasters. Appraise doesn't have a weapon, so he's a bit more comfortable on being on the ground here.
Yeah, and we actually just saw that situation once again with Wield Heart when they had the blasters. When they have those blasters in hand, they are very happy with just doing these short hops back and forth, trying to get you to whiff on something, and then they get a nice strong punish out of that. However, with Appraise evening up the stocks here, still quite a bit behind. To see how Wield Heart just needs to get a weapon in hand. They are kind of struggling here at the moment, but their movement's good.
Throwing out some of these snares, able to pick up that end light as well. Wield Heart now on the ground. Looking for any kind of hits against him. All he needs at this point, 1 blaster series enough to throw him off stage. And that is where you're going to be able to find this knockout.
Oh.
Appraise with the triple D-Light! What a flex play!
And using the platform for that reset too. That was actually
that's the
super
triple,
clean.
man. That's the triple. That's some experimental, casual game combo right there. You will not see a lot of players go for that, especially with the moving platform. Appraise has some serious guts to go for something like that. Finishing it up with a D-Sig as well. Closing it out with style.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just having the recognition of where you are, the map presence was fantastic there.
It's hard to hit, man.
Oh, yeah.
He was lining it up. He was lining it up.
I mean, it's just like, it's one of those things. It was a perfect storm for that combo in general. Everything was in the right place. But now, Wield Heart trying to battle their way back. Gets this Sair to even things up. And it is even. Dead even. Straight up 100%. 1 stock left for each. Wield Heart has to make a huge play to stay in this tournament. Never mind the set.
He has the Katars in hand, though. All he really needs is 1 good read, but he's not able to find it. Appraise is able to dodge out of it. He has the very small damage lead, but on Katars, you're going to need to start finding some of these dodge reads, man, because as soon as Appraise gets a couple of hits in, there's no stopping him.
Here we go, and we got Wield Hearts. You know, we can see them. They're dashing back and forth. That's one of their stronger suits. They're generally pretty patient. They'll dash back and forth, hoping that you throw something out. But I feel like Appraise has really kind of picked up on their gameplay style and has adapted very well. They know that Wield Heart is trying to go for these whiff punishes, and they're not really giving them as many opportunities to do so.
Appraise able to find that Nair, though, going for a second one. He noticed, potentially he noticed that, you know, he was kind of struggling whenever Wield Heart was in the air. He's starting to use some of these Nairs, utilizing these Sairs as well, trying to poke him out, changing his gameplay at the very last stock. What a genius play from Appraise, throwing Wield Heart off. But is it going to be enough?
I mean, now we got this Rocket Lance out here. He built up plenty of damage.
The Nairs, dude!
Yeah,
he's done like 20 Nairs this last stock.
Hey, it covers a lot of ground. If you got a great tool, you better keep using it.
Oh, that DC could have been it, but now again, throwing out signatures. Appraise this time around is able to find the punish, though. Now he just needs to keep this edge guard, but he doesn't find the Sair, but he's not able to get back up, and that's going to be it. Appraise gets the D-Sig, and he is going to be rematching Mr. Boy in the lower final.
Oh my goodness, that was actually very tense at the end too, and it really kind of came down to Wield Heart, whose movement has been pretty crisp all day today. I feel like at the very end, just second-guessed themselves at the wrong time, and they didn't commit, or they committed the wrong way, and yeah, that's just where the punish came through, closing out that game, that set. And man, unfortunate for them. They do fall at 4th place, but you still get a little bit of cash there. I believe $50 reduce. So hey, great game today.
That's a nice dinner. That's a nice dinner. $50. That's a very nice dinner. We're talking main course, dessert, and something nice to drink to it. Or you can have a main course with I don't know. You could invite out your grandma or your mom or something. You know, $50 is nothing to joke about.
Take your grandma to breakfast. You know. Watch how appreciative your grandparents are if you take them out to breakfast one time.
Call her right now. If you're watching this, call your grandma. She's thinking about you.
They always are. Grandparents are always thinking about their grandchildren. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Either way, big stuff to Appraise, battling their way through that set to take on Mr. Boy one more time. And if I'm not mistaken, this is actually the round 1 replay. Is it round 1?
I believe it might be round 2, but don't quote me on that. Either way,
I got a 50% chance of being
a rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of us is right. That's for sure. Well, that's at least something.
But either way, let's get into this game. Again, back into best of 5 territory. We got Mr. Boy taking out Appraise, starting on Apocalypse here.
And this is where Mr. Boy absolutely thrived earlier. But Appraise, he has the mental boost. He just got off of a win, has a little bit of a confidence boost, and he is on the anime redemption arc at this point.
Yep. We'll just see if they're able to kind of keep this going here. Lots of big damage coming out from Mr. Boy. This Rocket Lance is definitely a nice little tool for them. They close out a lot of stocks this way, especially off stage.
Yeah, the Lance, dude. He's like, Appraise, you've had your moment in the spotlight, but I'm going to show you how you really wield the Lance, all right?
Mm-hmm. The movement there is just so good. Beautiful. Sending him way up to the upper left, but not quite going to be able to take the stock quite yet. In a very strong position, though. Appraise. Nice patience getting back on stage.
Yeah,
yes.
Very, very nice recovery. Able to slip past that Lance recovery, which is very, very hard to do. Able to find the Sair as well. Good Sig punish. That Sig is so incredibly tough to punish, but he's able to find that. He's still in the game, looking to pick up a weapon, but Mr. Boy has something to say about it. He's going to take that stock out, probably sticking to the Lance here. I mean, he had a Lance and Lance to pick from, so I mean...
Ooh, looking a little bit tough here, but Appraise hanging tough. Mr. Boy, man, just continues to dominate this space here. These nairs are absolutely crazy.
Mr. Boy, again, managing to find a really, really solid knockout. Now 3 stocks against 1. Appraise. I don't know if he's fighting for the win or fighting not to get 3 stocked anymore, Skiff.
Oh, yeah, I think this was the round 1 because I think Mr. Boy actually 6 stocked Appraise, if I remember correctly. But it looks like Appraise answering back here saying, you won't do this to me anymore. I am changed. I am reborn. Losing has shown me more than you ever could. We'll see.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's so much anime energy right here. There's so much anime energy, and Appraise is showing up. He's getting some damage here. Mr. Boy is getting the better of him so far, though. Able to knock him off stage. Mr. Boy trying to get another Sair, but Appraise is not allowing it. Oh, nice poke.
Ooh, yes, lots of great pokes from both players here, but Mr. Boy definitely getting the better. One more of those, that could be... Oh, barely missed. That was terrifying.
I love how you call Lance a poke, because when I think of Lance, I think of...
Well, yeah, that too, but Lance generally pokes. You just add a rocket on it, it becomes a super poke.
Yeah. Oh, nice recovery. That's definitely a poke, a vertical one at that. Appraise taking a lot of damage here. Sair coming out as well, all the way out, and it's going to be the Haymaker taking him down. And we are into some serious business here, Skiff.
I like that. That was a very solid slide off into that punch to be able to close that out. Very well played by Mr. Boy. Just putting so much pressure off stage 2, but Appraise answering back with a stock this time. We'll see if they can keep that energy going, though, because, again, this is going to be very tough.
3, 2,
Getting right back into it. No legend swaps needed across the board as we're going on to small Brawlhaven. Now, we were having a discussion earlier on the green room. I was saying that, you know, map changes don't matter that much. One thing I always... Okay, sorry, I can't even finish my sentence. Appraise, what are you doing? Calm down. This is some real anime energy for real. He almost just got a clean stock skiff.
Yeah, they tried, but Mr. Boy, we know that they don't go down easy, especially like that. And look at this now, Appraise, who was on the upper hand here for a hot minute, now struggling. Whoa, that was a huge charge, my goodness.
Ooh, Mr. Boy could have gone for a charged up signature, maybe even lead that into a knockout, but instead opting to go for the true combo into the signature.
Oh, that spear barely clipping on the weapon toss. Well, man, this started off as an almost super early clean stock from Appraise to Mr. Boy just grinding that one out to take the lead here. Look at this. Down the goes crazy with the scythe in hand, trying to get some strong combos.
I feel like that one interaction says so much about Mr. Boy as a player. Like, he could have gone for just a charge-up signature, really, really good damage, good knockback, solid, consistent. Instead, he goes for like a 3-piece.
Ooh. Okay, now we got the faster weapons from both players in hand. Here we go. That's the problem with Scythe, is sometimes you get these super strong grabs, and all of a sudden what advantage you had with stage control is gone in an instant. Wow, what a brave play!
Brave play by both of the players. Mr. Boy just slightly miss-spacing that ground pod. It would have been the end of Appraise, but it's going to be working out. Not for long, though, as Mr. Boy is able to close that stock out as well.
I'm kind of upset that Appraise didn't get that stock. I feel like that was such a great read on the aggressive option for Mr. Boy. And normally when someone does something like that, I want them to be rewarded. They deserve a stock. Mr. Boy, if you're any sort of an honorable player, you'll run off the stage right now. I mean, he'll probably run off the stage, but it's going to be to take an extra stock. That's what it's going to be.
He's going to be flying off the stage by the looks of things, as Appraise is building up so much damage right now. I'm smelling a D-Sig, I'm smelling a side sig, anything of the sort. Side sig is coming out, but it's not going to be connecting.
Yeah, this might be another 3-stock right here. Okay, barely cleaning that up. Thank goodness, because Mr. Boy is just... I mean, anything I want to say, I've already said like 20 times tonight in regards to them.
Yeah, they have been looking extremely solid. What is that ground pound though, Mr. Boy? What's going on? Why are you going all the way out there? Appraise isn't able to really capitalize off of it that well. I mean, he's super low. He's last stage red, and you know, you can't really take that many mistakes. All it takes, one N-Sig, and that is 2-0 on the board now, Skiff.
Yep. Oh, that's definitely a little bit tough there. I mean, Appraise definitely had some moments where they're looking better, but like, whatever's going on, like as strong as we just saw Appraise play as well, there's just something against Mr. Boy. Mr. Boy just has Appraise's number. Like, there's moments of greatness, but I feel like they're just quickly shut down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Appraise, as you mentioned, I think moments of greatness is really the best way to describe him. Mr. Boy has like that overarching kind of just, you know, better gameplay. You know,
strong mental.
The scoreboard doesn't lie, but Appraise, you know, whenever he gets in there, he really gets work done. All he needs is to keep that up, and he thinks that a legend swap might be the way to do it. And I think, actually, last time I saw Appraise, this is the pick I saw him on. But still, I mean, one thing that usually doesn't change much, whichever legend you're on, your defense is universal, and that is where Mr. Boy gets an upper hand over Appraise, and he is just cutting right into him.
Hey, listen, when it comes to these types of scenarios, you're down 2-0, facing elimination from the bracket. I don't blame people for changing characters like this, especially if it feels like it hasn't been working out. Now, granted, this is a great pick, too. Strong, solid pick. You get the sword and the bow. Both fantastic options, combo-wise, and you get a little bit of that extra range with the bow as well. So right now, almost taking that first stock, too, without taking too much in the process.
So many top players have been repping Koji for good reason. He's incredibly powerful. Oh, and the N-Sig after missing the D-Sig, after missing the ground pod to cover up for himself, and the D-Sig as well. Appraise is looking confident on this bow skiff.
Yep. I feel like Koji is almost like a Ryu, right? Where I feel like everybody has that character in the back pocket because like he's generally easy to play, and it's always a good solid counter pick too. Like you don't want to be doing anything fancy. You're just trying to play strong Brawlhalla.
Yeah, I don't know Mortal Kombat, so I don't know what that reference really is, but I agree 100%. Ryu's for Mortal Kombat, right? Street Fighter?
I'm going to yell at you at BCX. That's what's going to happen. But as we get back into this game here, Mr. Boy does a fantastic job taking the second stock here and controlling the game.
Skullgirls? Does it just keep getting worse and worse? Outscar Skip. We got a full stock lead on our screen right now. Mr. Boy is doing super well. He's got the lance in hand as well, but Appraise is on the bow. He's in a disadvantageous state right now, though, having a hard time getting back, and he puts himself out there again against Mr. Boy. That's not where you want to be.
Yeah, but now can they find a way to close this out? Mr. Boy is definitely content with just throwing out Nair over and over again, maybe trying to flex a little bit, but sometimes when you start to get a little lackadaisy, all of a sudden your opponent gets that one opening, and they can carry a bunch of momentum here. What?
Is that the homie stock? Mr. Boy just wants to keep it interesting. What's going on? Let's see the ruling. What's the ruling? Is Appraise gonna get that game? He should.
They taunted? Yeah, no, they're gonna get that game. There's no way that they're not going to. But
I don't know what's happening.
And then jumped off the stage. I feel like this is some disrespect going on. I was like charity. You can have that. I don't want that. I don't want game 3.
There's some tension here. There's some drama. This is the time where Appraise says, "You think you're that good, huh? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what it's all about." He picks up this bow. He gets a combo started right away. First couple seconds of the game. Mr. Boy gets one hit, and Appraise just answers it straight away. He's in the lead here.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think it was a desync, because a desync would have just been a normal run off the stage. They don't jump.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, well, we'll see what happens here. Both players taunting at the very beginning. Maybe Mr. Boy just wants to play a few more games with Appraise. Who knows?
I mean, he's having fun. He could just be playing with his food, though, as you speculated earlier. Either way, I'm not one for speculating. I'm one for seeing what's on the screen. And right now, we got Mr. Boy approaching a knockout here, and we've been talking about it. As you mentioned, everything that we want to say about this guy, we've said 20 times over. He is so good at finding these knockouts, and there it is.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I love speculating because when I'm right, I look like a genius, and when I'm wrong, people go, "That's skiff." I'm just living up to expectations at that point.
Hey man, I need that. I need that energy about me, man.
It's easy. You just consistently be stupid. You'll be all right. But either way, back into this game here. Appraise some clean edge guards. Ooh, tried to go for a big play there. Not once, but twice. Not able to get that stock.
Almost a full stock lead, though. So Mr. Boy is just building up this damage. Big ground pound call out, though, all the way up in the air. Mr. Boy not able to get that knockout just yet. Oh, I would have expected him to go for something unarmed there, actually. He had kind of a flow going, and he broke that just to go pick up a scythe.
Oh, Appraise almost jumped right into that scythe toss. They were able to barely squeak past it, but not for much longer. I feel like these players are definitely having a solid time. Look, you can have that weapon. I don't want it. What is going on here?
End my misery. Yeah, facepalm. Mr. Boy, what are you doing, dude?
Recognizing that they are probably the better player for sure, and they are certainly playing with their food. Listen, there's almost 5 minutes here. Oh.
This is the beautiful thing about esports. The beautiful thing about esports is that you are allowed to do anything you want inside of the game as long as you adhere to the rules.
Yeah, that is true. They're not doing anything wrong, but they're not doing anything right. Morally, this is wrong. You want to talk about morals? This is morally wrong.
I don't know, dude. That's your book, not mine. Mr. Boy actually in a bit of a... Ooh, able to get that stock, though. And that is it. It's over. Skiff, it's over.
It's about time. I thought there was a part of me that thought Mr. Boy was going to go with the next 6 minutes just dancing around and then like throwing themselves off the stage to play game 5. Listen, I appreciate charity. Charitable endeavors are always nice, but not quite like that. But I got to hand it to Appraise. Battling hard for 3rd place, going to be taking home $100, or you're not really taking it home. You're already home, but still $100. That's an even better dinner. That's actually a dinner for 2.
Yeah, that's actually a dinner for 2. Now, I did actually go ahead and Google it because Skiff is a gatekeeping 30-year-old man. Ryu is from Street Fighter, to anyone curious.
You're not being serious. No, you're not being serious here.
I didn't know. How am I supposed to know? I don't play Street Fighter.
I know you only play Brawlhalla, but there's just no way you're being serious right now.
I am being serious.
That is the saddest thing I've heard.
I know one thing about Ryu. I know one thing about Ryu, and it's that he's the guy.
Our production guy, who's probably not as involved with fighting games like we were having a discussion earlier, right? They are FPS guy. They can tell you where Ryu's from.
Bro, is it Ryu the guy that goes Hadouken?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I did know about that. That's one thing I don't know. Hadouken. I mean, everyone knows about that. Even people that don't play video games know about Hadouken.
No, you know where Ryu's from because he's literally a guest character in this game, and they made a big deal about that. You're lying to me.
I don't know where all of them are from. I'm gonna be completely honest. Hey,
no,
I am the biggest Brawlhalla lover there is, and I don't care about 99% of the crossovers because I'm like, I literally don't care about this. Like, I don't buy them, I don't care. I only got Chun-Li, and I don't know which game Chun-Li is from either. Like, out of all of the crossovers.
What game do you think Chun-Li's from?
I mean, judging by your look and disappointment, you know, first off, you kind of reminded me of my father. Second off, Street Fighter, probably.
It's Street Fighter. All right,
yeah, it's Street Fighter. Does Chun-Li have a line? Does Chun-Li have a funny line?
Like spinning bird kick?
Spinning, that's not a line. They don't go spinning bird kick.
They say spinning bird kick. She says spinning bird kick.
What's a bird kick, though? Birds don't kick. That's gonna look stupid.
Look up Secretary Birds. Anyway, going into our final match, potentially final match of the night here. We got our grand finals. On the winner side is New Zomber. I believe just hasn't lost at all. Not even dropping a game, if I'm not mistaken. Going to be going against Mr. Boy. L.
He dropped one game against Mr. Boy, the man, the legend.
That's right. And Mr. Boy, I mean, definitely was playing with the food a little bit. And you know what? I don't hate that, especially coming from the lower bracket, because that can put a lot of confidence into your gameplay. So we'll definitely see if they're able to rise to the occasion here. But we got New Zomber going right back onto the Macho Man, and we'll see how this works out.
And this is the matchup we loved so much, the creative Lance Ditto. Are we going to be seeing it? Mr. Boy is picking up that scythe, first of all, and New Zomber is getting a lot of damage build up straight away. Mr. Boy able to respond, though, putting him in offstage.
There we go. Yep, great slide pass. And now the edge guard, can they close it out? Definitely try for something a little bit creative here. And that's actually something we're going to see a lot again. These two are definitely some of the most creative Rocket Lance users that we've watched duel in a hot minute. Oh, the weapon toss, barely missing.
Ooh, nice signature. Able to get a lot of knockback. But Mr. Boy going with a higher recovery, able to get back. New Zomber catching the landing, though, and the recovery call out. Great option by New Zomber, taking that first stock of Grand Final.
And really not even in the red either, so Mr. Boy just not really getting as much damage as we expect for Mr. Boy to start off with before losing a stock.
Oh, what is that? What a read! Look, I know all about reading neutral, reading dodges, but reading wake-ups, that's kind of new to me.
Don't know anything about reading definitions. We had that discussion earlier.
Okay, calm down, Skiff. All right, back to the game. Mr. Boy, Mr. Boy down in red here as New Zomber is looking for this knockout, swapping over to that Lance to be able to find it.
Yep. And again, just dueling it out here. But the problem is I feel like at some point, I want to see what Mr. Boy does have in the pocket here. Maybe he has a couple answers, but maybe a weapon switch at some point for a better secondary weapon, because while I feel like they are playing very well here, I feel like New Zomber just demands something a little bit different.
That was a side stick, Mr. Boy. You saw the chainsaw, that was a side stick punish, but it wasn't able to find it. Looks like it doesn't matter much though, as they might be able to find the knockout here, but no. Actually, yes, but no. Yes.
Well, which one is it?
Watching these players, I don't know half the time.
All right, but as we get into...
They could find the knockout, I would still be unsure if that was the knockout or not.
And we get into our last stock scenario here for game 1. Granted, keep in mind, everybody, this is only game 1, but game 5 of these guys playing today. They met each other in winners finals and now here in grands.
Indeed. And zomba able to find a massive ground pound weapon throw as well. He loves those weapon throws and he's so good at utilizing them. Full stock on the board as he brings the first game home.
And that was a strong ground pound, which didn't take the stock, but was fairly close. And then a strong weapon toss, because you could see immediately they were trying to go for a wide recovery. Weapon toss easily covers that, and you can cover inside with your ground pound. So honestly, that was just well played across the board there for zomba. But as we go right back to Demon Island, let's see. They both jump past each other, and 1, 2, 3 punch kick.
Yeah, no, that happens a lot.
It's the same thing. They both short hopped it too. All right. Well, anyway, Demon Island once again. We got Axe and zomba's
Same map. Same map, same legend,
map.
same opening. Both players. They want to keep it simple.
Same brain cell too, apparently. Same brain cell.
Hive mind. They are one.
All right. Right now, Mr. Boy doing a pretty solid job, getting some pretty decent damage, but zomba again, not really far behind it. Oh, the huge sig to actually close that out. Wow.
Sticking to the lands here, using some weapon throws to try and tease out a weapon, an attack from Mr. Boy. He's not going to be getting it though. Able to catch the landing, that's so big. Gets the GC as well. That was so much damage. And he just keeps finding it. How does he keep finding it, Skiv?
He's just on a different level, to be honest with you, man. He's just taking his time, not really doing anything crazy. Oh. Wow, slid right past that, too. Threading the needle in that recovery, and still not even losing the stock. That's definitely got to be a bit of a feels bad moment. Mr. Boy was expecting an aggressive option, and that was just funny.
That was a bit funny, indeed. No, the thing is, like, Mr. Boy has a lot of precision, but zomba is so good at making his opponents miss.
Yeah, his movement is definitely very solid here. Oh, the charge on that, too. Woo!
Optimal combo. The charge was just for show. He could have dodged that. Or I don't know if he didn't have a dodge, but I think he could have jumped it anyway. So he could have gotten out of that.
I think he was locked into it. I think he was locked into that combo. Like, if not, it was like you probably have to be mashing that button.
Yeah, for sure. And oh man, it looks like this might be it. He goes for the GCD line. zomba is looking confident. Going for a lot of callouts. I'm smelling maybe a ground pound off stage next time he gets there. No, it's gonna be a sig. That's how he loves finishing these stocks up, man.
Yeah, Mr. Boy's definitely in a little bit of trouble here. You see, he's already in the red on the last stock. He's trying to make some big plays, but man, zomba just not really giving him the opening he wants. That was a great shot, but not closing the stock out. That one should do it. Absolutely. Last stock scenario here. Mr. Boy can't even get sneezed on, or they will lose this game.
And from what I've seen so far, zomba is so good at playing in these situations. He doesn't really get comfortable. He just gets confident. And there it is. The Sair to close it out. That's 2-0 on the board. And that is just zomba being 1 game's reach away from being the Fight Nights Brawlhalla champion.
I think 2-time. But either way, Mr. Boy, I mean, been playing hot all day today. Was flexing a little bit in the lower bracket final. But now they are facing their match. They may have met their match entirely. zomba's already 1-0 on them today, looking to make it a quick 2-0. We'll see what Mr. Boy does. If I'm not mistaken, zomba was up 2-0 initially, and then Mr. Boy took game 3.
Yeah. Going into it, the most important game of the entire tournament now for Mr. Boy, and he has such a long way to go. He does not only need to win 3 games in a row, he needs to get that reset as well. This is looking grim. This is about the time where your spirits might run low.
Nope. couple strong swings, and that's actually how we saw Mr. Boy lose that first stock in the last game, was actually that signature.
Yeah, 100%. Now, Mr. Boy throwing out a couple of nairs, keeping it competitive, evening out the damage. Also, the map pick here, triple platform.
Yeah, this is like the one map I feel like I never see. It comes out wildly, and in situations like this where someone's down 2-0. It's definitely like, I need to make something happen. I know some tricks on this stage. I just gotta hope my opponent isn't ready for them. And I feel like that's what's happening here with Mr. Boy.
It can also just be a massive change of pace, right? Because you have so much more space to move with. Mr. Boy doesn't have a lot of space to move with and is that far down off stage, though going to be losing that stock.
Dude, this movement from New Zomber, too, on the platforms is absolutely clean. New Zomber on ice.
Yeah, Mr. Boy, he's the one who picked this map, but it looks like New Zomber is making it not be a great pick.
Oh my god. You see him dancing?
They're dancing, man. That's what I love about this map. And what is that? The call out there. We're 3 stocks against 1 in the match point game. This could be it. He finds the GC. He's going to get a lot of damage out of that. Mr. Boy with a ground pound, potentially even a tilt option here, but he's going to be able to find that there. That's the knockout. He's getting himself on the scoreboard. It's not over until it's over, Skiff.
I'm sorry, but from what I just saw in that second stock, I feel like it's over. I'm sorry. That's not even trying to disrespect Mr. Boy. It's just the movement that New Zomber has and the way they dance on those platforms all across the stage, actually, and they close out that stock with a spike. That's shades of Bizarro Flame for me. Oh my goodness.
It's like when you're about to go into a duel and you see that one guy with a spear doing the helicopter behind his back, and you're just like, yeah, no, it's over. This guy knows how to use this spear. He just starts, he shows off what he's capable of with the movement, and he's just like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not going up against this. Screw this.
All right, well, hey, we do see the game get evened up here. I may have spoken too soon, but listen, I was just mesmerized by the movement, all right? I like a little bit of sauce, and when the sauce is good, you get caught in the sauce. But Mr. Boy starting to fight back here a little bit. Still behind by quite a bit, though.
Yeah, but judging where he came from, he's been getting back really well so far. New Zomber is close to getting this win, though. Literally within reach. Just 1 or 2 hits away. He gets the end light, disarms him. He's off stage. He doesn't go for the SIG, though. He goes for the D-light. It's not going to connect. Mr. Boy gets the punish. Goes for the SIG. The SIGs are coming all around, but Mr. Boy finds the Sayer Skiff.
Oh, yeah, I feel like New Zomber might have been messing around a little too much, but no, finds a way to clean it up with a quick one, too. And we've got your Fight Night champion here for Brawlhalla as New Zomber cleans it up with a 3-0, beating his chest in victory as well.
A beautiful showing. The Lannis did are really bringing something fresh to the table. As we mentioned, this Lannis gameplay was crazy. And the movement, the movement, the sauce, all of it, it was such a good set and such a good tournament, Skip.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. My goodness, man. Now, let's take a look at this bracket here. You are right, yep. Did drop that one game to Mr. Boy in winners finals, but this time said, hey, I'll do you a one better. I'll do it in 3. And looking stylish in the process as well. Gotta give big ups to New Zomber. Big ups to Mr. Boy as well. Had a fantastic bracket today. Unfortunately, fell a little bit short, but hey, falling short and getting $150 out of it, that ain't too bad. It's not $200, but $150 is not bad at all.
That's a dinner for what? For 3?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it could be a dinner for 1 if you go to the right place.
Yeah. Or the wrong place.
Or the wrong place. Listen, one of the places when we were down at DreamHack Dallas for Brawlhalla, we went to this one place, and it was fancy schmancy, but let me tell you, that was some good food. It was really good food.
My favorite place, like, hands down, the place with the best food in my town, which, keep in mind, is a very small town, like, a good dinner is $15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a little on the cheaper side. But hey, fantastic stuff today from all our competitors. Again, congratulations to New Zomber for winning it all. But we do want to give a quick shout out here to PlayStation. Obviously, you're watching on the stream here, but you can check out more at compete.playstation.com. And also the Discord as well. If you're looking for more people to compete with, if you're looking for more people to compete with, and also just look up some articles and videos of some of your favorite games, is definitely the place to be. Make sure you check out that QR code. If the phone is not ready, you got a link right there.
Yeah, make sure to get into the action, and who knows, maybe you will be on the screen next time for Fight Nights. Get in there, join the community, play some games. Again, there's way more than just Brawlhalla. There's so many more titles in there. You definitely don't want to miss out on any of the action. Yeah,
you play Ryu from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, listen, we've been on long enough. As you can see, Polly has stolen my sunlight. It is now nice and dark. He's ready to take a quick little morning nap. I'm ready to go to bed. But hey, make sure you tune in next time. If you are watching, you can try to compete as well. And I think that's it for me. Polly, you got anything else?
Massive shout out to all of the players and the amazing production team running this show. It's been an absolute blast being on here. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. You see it right here on the screen at Polymonto and at Skiv Talks. But until then, we will see you guys next time. Take care.
PlayStation